couple of other eclectic instruments there.
I do. I have an accordion with me. I played the piano as long as I can remember. We had one growing up, and I started taking lessons when I was about 6. And then I played the cello for a little bit, and then when that guitar came home, it was more fun because you could sing with it. You couldn't sing with the cello. Well, I couldn't sing with the cello. I guess other people can.
But the best instrument of all is sitting down to your right.
Oh, my saw. Yes. Well, it's funny. I had completely forgotten this and blanked out of my mind until my dad reminded me that when I came home with the cello and the cello bow, he said, "Can you play a saw with that?" And he did. He brought a saw up from the basement, and I did. So I guess I've been playing the saw since I was 8, but it was 10 years later when I was in college. My college roommate had a saw because she was going to try to learn the saw that semester, and I kind of took it over.
She was signed up for a carpentry class.
And do you know what popped up on my On This Day memories yesterday?
No, what?
You teaching me how to play the saw on Louisville Live in 2012.
Wow, yeah, that was a while ago.
That was before you had a baby.
It was. I was right before I moved to Scotland.
I
moved over there
know.
for a
You
couple
did
years.
for that was, I think we were saying goodbye to you then.
Yeah, I think it might have been the day before. I remember there was like a Harry Potter cake on too.
Yes!
I took part of it
That
home.
is so funny. You have such a memory. But anyway, I had the opportunity to
good.
play a saw, and that was pretty cool. So go ahead. What is your next tune going to be?
Oh, we should sing. You have a banjo. Let's do Whiskey in the Faucet.
Whiskey in the Faucet.
Love
was
that.
Try not to
preparing
switch
for another-
instruments.
bourbon in
you
the
were?
faucet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, because you're looking at a set list. Silly Steve.
You were talking about the difference between whiskey in the faucet and bourbon in the faucet the other
Right.
night. So what is that whole thing
So
about?
my first record, which is 10 years, a little over 10 years old now, I put this song on it.
A classic.
A classic, is exactly right, on my greatest hits. Is called Whiskey in the Faucet, and in the third verse I list a bunch of whiskeys, but then I started touring in Scotland a lot, and I didn't mention a single malt or Scotch whiskey.
Oh, no.
And so I don't know if anyone out there has traveled to Scotland, but they kind of turn their noses up in bourbon, thinking it's...
Because it's bourbon.
Because it's bourbon.
It's not whiskey. It's bourbon.
I guess that it's sweet. It's sort of...
Yes.
It tastes like sugar compared to the, single malt saw. That's my bad Scottish impression. So I wrote a new verse, particularly for my friends in Scotland, to mention some single malts.
Here we go. Briged, Kaelin, and Steve Coolie.
Woke up this morning like I do in every song. Went to brush my teeth and saw there was something wrong. That ain't water in the drain, and let me tell y'all, that's something that I smell there. It's pure grain alcohol. There's whiskey in the faucet. I thought I'd lost it with that amber water flowing drop by drop. So grab a mason jar. It's time to start the bar. Oh Lord, oh please, don't ever let it stop. I ran into the kitchen about as fast as I could go. Checked the sink in there to see if it had a whiskey flow. Much to my surprise, it was flowing like a fountain. This must be what they mean by the big rock candy mountain. There's whiskey in the faucet. I thought I'd lost it with that amber water flowing drop by drop. So grab a mason jar. It's time to start the bar. Oh Lord, oh please, don't ever let it stop. Show off, Steve. I called my friends to spread the news. Before 10 minutes passed, folks I didn't even know. They were all holding out a glass for Lagavulin, Talisker, Lefroy, Macallan, Strathman. Didn't care how much they drink, my landlord pays the bill. Now me and all my friends, we just party until dark. 'Cause there ain't a chance in hell that we'll run out of Highland Park. The only problem I can see that makes things kind of tricky, can't take a bath to hide the smell when the pipes, the whiskey. There's whiskey in the faucet. I thought I'd lost it with that amber water flowing drop by drop. So grab a mason jar, it's time to stock the bar. Oh Lord, oh please, don't ever let it stop. Oh Lord, oh please, don't ever let it stop.
Woohoo! Whiskey in the Faucet, Briged, Kaelin, and Steve Coolie. I was going to ask you a question about the actual bourbon thing you just mentioned being sweet. Are you a bourbon man, Steve?
I'm more of a Scotch drinker.
Are you? How about you, Brigid?
Same.
Really?
Yeah, well, I feel like it sounds, I don't know, I moved on. I don't know what it is. Now bourbon tastes too sweet for me. I do love like a bourbon and ginger, bourbon and Coke, and I even like a sipping, but when I'm really going to taste, sorry.
Scotch.
Bourbon's okay summertime. I think
that's
it's sort of a summertime drink for
Good
me.
thinking. Bourbon on the porch. Yeah. kind of thing.
Wintertime, it's probably Scotch and maybe rye whiskey.
That's a good distinguishing thing there. I never really thought about it, but I feel like the same. In winter, fire, maybe it's just because it tastes like fire. So,
Where do you come up with your lyrics? I've been meaning to ask you that for a long time because I have a feeling you have like a journal at home and you've got all these crazy words and you just somehow match them up.
yeah, it's like a refrigerator poetry, right? That's actually not too far from the truth. So I
Really?
have boxes and boxes and boxes of. I probably have 100 journals at home, and I actually haven't written much since the kids were born, just because I don't have time to physically write down. So instead, it's all jumbled up in my brain, kind of making me crazy. But I do. I have boxes and boxes of journals, and I'll just start writing, like free writing, just kind of, I say write the crazy away. Like I have too much going on in my head. So I know he's like, it's not working.
No, I've been told the same thing. It doesn't matter what you say and you don't have to think of it. You just do it. You
Yeah.
just put your pen to paper and
I
write.
find that when I actually write it down,
Yeah.
then it's not in my head anymore. So sometimes
Yeah.
it just starts as, I cannot believe that I haven't written in 3 weeks and I have so much laundry to do and blah, blah, blah. And suddenly I have an idea and go from there. So,
Wow, that's not how it happens with me at all.
yeah. You're not making your laundry list?
What do you do, Steve? What's your process?
If I'm going to write a song, I generally sit down and I have to force myself to do it, and then I make up some sort of topic and try and imagine a story.
I like that. The stories.
Telling the story.
Yeah.
That's, but I'm not one of those people that's compelled to write lyrics. I have plenty of friends that are songwriters that they have to do something.
Yeah, that's
like
how.
Bridget. I mean, if you've got the bug, you're going to have to do it. Yeah, if I have a reason to do it, if somebody says, "Hey, we're working on a record project. Have you got some songs?" I would probably sit down and try and churn something out. But
You're
I'm
good with a prompt.
Yeah,
Like that boat song. You wrote a couple boat songs.
Yeah.
They did that steamboat thing for the Belle of Louisville.
Yeah.
Steve's like half the record.
Oh my God, that's wonderful. I was watching him tuning that thing on the fly. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, he's-
right in the middle of the song, he's retuning
it made
the banjo.
it worse than it was before, sort of.
Steve's incredible, though. I mean, a lot of people in this town know this already. And, I was about to say stuck in a car, but really you were stuck in a car with me for 2 weeks in Europe over there. And I learned a lot, although I already knew a lot about Steve, too. But
Sure.
But he's
How
played
to
with some
dodge
great...
pheasant. We
How to dodge
learned how
pheasant.
to dodge pheasant.
Yeah. I'm not going to name drop on you, but just Google Steve and you'll see. But he really is. People
No, go ahead, name drop. It'll be more fun that way.
No, he'll
please
get embarrassed.
don't.
But people came out to see him many times. Like, it will be my name on the bill, and people will be like, "No, I heard you were here with Steve Cooley."
I love that.
It's true. He's incredible, and it's nice to know that other people know that too.
Name drop just one
So-
name, Brigid. Just one.
Dennis Ledford.
There you go.
He's not gonna.
Louisville legend.
Louisville
Dennis
legend.
Ledford.
Dennis is probably listening. Hi, Dennis.
That's
He's probably
so cute.
texting me right now.
He's the king of rock.
What's the
yeah.
address? Sorry.
Exactly. 1641 Melwood is the studio.
Come on in. We're here till 8, right?
All right, take it away. I want to hear more music from you two.
All right. Let's do the one with the capo. Now
Okay.
that's
Do you
a.
want one
Oh,
of
that's
those
what they call
devices?
capos in Europe?
It is
A capo.
A capo, please. So this song is what inspired the new record. The new record's called "Those Who Drift Away," and I don't know. We recorded on Steve's houseboat, which was pretty fun.
You
Although
have a houseboat?
he lives on a houseboat. He
You're
just
my
moved
new
back
best
in.
friend.
Yeah. Well, he just moved back in. The last month, maybe you didn't want to.
No, really.
It sounds really great, but it's kind of like living in a farmhouse during the wintertime because it's you have to get up and sort of get the fire going of a morning, and
Sure.
it was a little bit frosty this morning. I was off the boat for a brief spell during the recent flood episode.
I bet you
'cause-
were.
For a brief, it was like 3 weeks.
Well, they shut the electric off at the marina, so it's not that much fun to be that primitive.
No.
Then you're sort of camping a whole lot. And
Camping on the water.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you came back to the river.
And by the way, I bought a T-shirt with the name of the album on it, and I have never worn such a soft and comfortable T-shirt.
Good, thank you.
I need to find out where you get your T-shirts
I will.
because my Puppy
Yeah.
Pack Adventures T-shirts, not so happy with the first batch.
Right. I splurged and ordered a few samples because I wanted one that I was going to want to wear, too.
Exactly.
Because I knew I'd probably have like 50 left over. So,
Good Lord.
you know, not
Go
too
for
laundry.
it. Brigid, Kaelin, and Steve Coolie are my
Cotton
guests tonight on the
Holly blend,
Homegrown Radio Hour. We're going 65 cotton, 35 poly.
Big town, small city. Don't know which. You can take your pick, slow down, move quickly. North or south, you sure are pretty. Those who drift away always come back home someday on a giant rubber band that is stretched out as far as it can go, pulling back to Louisville. Great place to be from, that's what they say. So proud of everyone who left and made their name, but those who drift away always come back home someday on that giant rubber band that is stretched out as far as it can go, pulling back to back to Louisville. Play something. Bluegrass, fried chicken. Last call at 4 a.m. People still smile and say hello to strangers at the grocery store. But I drifted away, but I'll be back home someday on that giant rubber band where it's stretched out as far as it can go, calling back to Louisville, back to Louisville.
That's an awesome song.
Thank you.
And that's the name of the album.
Those who drift away, as my boomerang friends, of which I am one. I keep trying to leave this town and keep coming back.
Well, that's
So-
what it is for everybody. Seriously. And are we the only city in the region that has 4 o'clock last call? Seriously? Are we
We're
really?
the only one anywhere, I
And-
think.
yeah, maybe New
There's
York.
a couple of cities that are, I think Vegas is around the clock, and New Orleans might be
Yeah.
6 a.m.
I know. I
can't
was shocked when I
remember.
came here and people were out partying until 4 because in Portland, Oregon, it was 2.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that's kind of the places that are big cities that have bars. 2 is late.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4
Well,
is...
it was one here for a long time.
No.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because of the bourbon or
Yeah,
the
that
whiskey
I consume more.
or the scotch.
I swear it's why music starts so late in this town, though,
Well,
too.
Yeah, I think you're right.
At some point
There's no
back in the
rush.
70s, they decided over Derby weekend,
Yeah.
a bunch of the club owners all petitioned to see if they could stay open till 6 or something, and I think that's what sort of started it.
Kicked
and
it
then
off.
it just turned into wide open city.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you based on my nephew's visit here a few years ago at Derby that none of the places downtown ever shut down because they were out every night
Yeah.
until all hours of the morning.
It is. I mean, I feel like you can stay open 24 on Oaks Night. It's,
Crazy.
yeah. It's pretty wild. And nothing good ever happens after 1. I feel like it's
That's what your mother said, right? Nothing good ever happens after midnight, Tara.
good advice. It took me a while to realize that. But I mean, how many gigs have you played, Steve, in this town that are like 11 to 2? It's like, what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's at one point in time when I was playing with a band, we could go play a job in Lexington because they close at 1.
And come back here and
And
play
if
another.
you had, a lot of times they'd want you to do last call up there at 12:15 or 12:30, and
Yeah.
sometimes we could make it all the way back in time to get a.
Second gig. Pretty clever.
That is clever.
So here's my question. Do you play accordion? Do you jam with Heidi Joy Stenson?
You know, it's funny. She actually came over last week. We didn't jam on the accordion. We sort of like sat around the kitchen table and plotted. So, but I love
She and
Heidi.
I are
She's
doing
great.
some plotting too.
Yeah, let's all plot.
Let's plot
it was
together.
a lot of venting. It was some good therapy. I felt like I just sort of I like her. She's a good soul, and
She
I
is.
see her on the Facebook. And I'm like, we should perhaps
Plot and vent.
Yeah, I'm trying to reach out to do things that are not in my comfort zone. Say hello. I'm in my 30s, but let's make a new friend, which isn't something that you really do. So I say 30s because I'm almost 40.
No way.
Well, not till July, but I keep forgetting, and so I'm like, yeah, I'm 40 because I've been really excited about it for a long time. I know.
40 will be great. That'll be
I
the
know.
greatest birthday ever.
Oh yeah, we'll be. Funny you mention this. We'll be in Switzerland. I'm trying to talk Steve into coming.
Oh my gosh, that's
We're playing a
awesome.
festival over there, and
Are you going to take the accordion?
I am. Although,
How could you not
I
in
was gonna say,
Switzerland?
that actually may be the one country in the world where I could just borrow somebody's and know that it's going to be fine. So,
Everybody's got an accordion in
right.
Switzerland.
I'm sure I could find one.
All right, let's talk about it.
Yeah, so I'm playing a big festival. It's kind of cool in relation to Louisville because a lot of Louisville was settled by Swiss people. We know about Germantown and such, but
Yep.
most of those,
Schnitzelberg.
yeah, Schnitzelberg. So I feel like it is a majority of those actually came from Switzerland. And all the Kaelins came from this one town called Einsiedeln in Switzerland, and the Zenders, the Bissigs, the Erlers, all these names that we see a lot of but that are not common in the rest of the country, they came from this town in Switzerland. And so I'm going there and playing their music festival.
Are you of the Kaelin burger fame or a different Kaelin?
I mean, it's the same Kaelin, but I don't like. Hey, there's the mayor. Sorry, distracted, shiny. Perhaps I should not have said on the radio where the mayor
squirrel,
is. But
squirrel.
it is the mayor, and that's his driver. Anyway, the mayor is on Melwood Avenue. Everybody, I would tear up Tara's off. She's shouting, "Hey, Greg!" Funny, it actually is related because the mayor of Einsiedeln, this town in Switzerland, is coming to Louisville at the end of July. So.
You know, it's only in Louisville that you can open the door of your radio station, scream out the window.
Yeah. Say, hey,
Hey,
you said,
Greg.
Hey, Greg. Yeah. Hi, he's in the back, probably
They'll
doing work.
actually answer you. He's funny. He's a great guy.
He is. He knows your name too. He's not just faking it. It's
No,
good.
he's true. All right,
right.
so let's
Keeping
hear
a
some of that.
folder on, yeah.
Let's hear some of that Schnitzelbergian
Right.
music.
Let's do got my accordion on. How about let's do Once I Had, since it is St. Patrick's Week.
And that's
So
in
it's
A.
in A, or will be. And I wrote this for a friend of mine in Scotland. This song's called Once I Had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Once I had a garden in Old Town, and a gate, and a bicycle too, and a cobblestone street, and an old apple tree. Once I had a friend in you. You stood up so straight in the spotlight, but hunched in the shadows and said, you touched my shoulder and said to remember that once I had everything. Once I had a slow French waltz, single malts, and a book of old Burns poetry, and a Christmas card and a custom guitar. to a slow French waltz, single malt, and a book of old Burns poetry, and a welcome call, and my custom guitar. Now I have a friend in thee. Waltzed in the back of the room to your song. The boy, he was only 10 days young. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't be here. So thanks for the music, the friends, and the cheer. When I think of a slow French waltz, a single malt, and a book of old Burns poetry, I will think of the songs I'll toast to you, Sludge. Glad I once had a friend in thee.
William Dean says, "Sing it, girl."
All of them. Hello there.
You got a ton of people who are listening to you on Facebook and loving every minute of it. Briged, Kaelin, and Steve Coolie, our guests this week on the Homegrown Radio Hour. And, you know, what I love about this time of year is that it's still daylight.
Yes.
Because usually the last however many months since we had the last time change, we've been going out of here at night in the pitch black, and
Starting at night, ending at night, yeah.
even it's cold, even
Have
though
me
it's
carry
cold,
a
it's still
torch with
beautiful.
you, as they say in the old country.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's instant game changer as far as attitude.
What's the origin of Coolie, Steve?
Irish.
Aha.
Steve O'Cooley.
Do you know what county your family came from?
It seems like I did it some time, but I don't honestly remember.
Maybe someone
I
on
just have
Facebook
all
does.
the other bad habits.
Somebody will know.
Yeah, somebody.
Pork, taters, stout, butter.
Wasn't that fun? The butter.
The butter. Tell me
was-
about the butter.
Oh, the butter's just different over there.
Is it
You know
hand
how-
churned?
Yeah, made by little
real butter.
leprechauns, right?
It's just real butter.
It's real butter. The cows are like not fed weird chemicals, and
Yeah.
they're all eating grass. And like now they have Kerrygold at Kroger and Trader Joe's. That stuff you can eat it like cheese. It's just
You
slice
gotta
it
be
up.
careful.
Oh yeah, maybe. Well, you can. You've got the like my dad's Irish. He can. Apparently, all he eats is cheese and butter.
He's got the luck of the Irish going for
He
him.
does, not
Me,
you.
not so much. I
No.
don't think I could get behind the
Yeah, you got to spit in a tube, find out what you can eat.
cheese.
What
and-
was the meat source that you enjoyed most in Scotland? Because when I was in Ireland a couple of years ago, it was lamb.
Yeah, we
lamb.
have a whole lot of lamb. Bridget's not much of a meat eater. Let's
No,
see.
I don't eat
In
meat.
Scotland, I had some delicious salmon.
Oh yeah.
Some delicious
Scottish
salmon, and let's see, we had some great cheeses.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Great cheeses.
I don't normally do cheese, and I pigged out on the cheese in this tour.
Did you?
It was just so good. You can get all the unpasteurized stuff.
It seems like I had some lamb that was really delicious.
What did you eat? What did you eat, Bridget? If you're not eating meat, and he's eating all the lamb and the salmon.
Taters.
Taters. No, they're actually, it's probably the best place I've ever traveled to for vegetarians, to be honest.
Really?
I mean, I haven't eaten meat since I was a teenager, so I don't even think about it, but it's in the United Kingdom, you have to list on every menu what items are vegetarian. I think a lot of it is just, well, actually, it's not uncommon and it's not weird. But they have a lot of a high Indian population, a lot of which they don't eat meat either. So there's lots of curries. There's lots of I don't know. It's just great.
Yeah.
Good vegetables. We remember all those Brussels sprouts. He was joking. He's like, look,
we
it's
had
farms of Brussels sprouts.
giant
It was.
Brussels sprout field when
Yeah.
we were lost in the country.
Yeah, it was good. We had some good
Plenty of
adventures.
opportunities to get lost out there, isn't it?
It's true. I've been uploading a bunch of videos and putting together some kind of funny clips. The time where we stumbled on some Roman ruins, but they were closed, so I sort of went on anyway, and we got kicked out. But it's a good little adventure on our Facebook page.
International incident
Yeah,
almost.
I know.
Just the two of
Nice
you.
lady.
Instead, they
nice,
came out and was
nice
like,
lady.
so sorry, we're
Yeah.
closed.
Bridget Kaelin and Steve Cooley locked up in Scotland.
It wasn't like if we'd been to in a national park, where they'd have
Yeah.
probably called out some snipers
Yeah, exactly,
and
just
sent
shot
somebody
us.
down to run us off.
No.
This nice lady came out of the
Yeah. She made it her fault somehow. And
Yeah. It was like, oh, we're so sorry. Sorry. We're not really open today.
Yeah, we're not.
That's a pretty good imitation there, Steve.
She was
Lorna, she was real nice. Then she taught us a bunch of interesting history facts.
Yeah,
She was
She
great.
said, you must have looked it up on Google.
She
Google
did.
thinks that we're open.
I know. I was like, of course we looked it up on Google. She says, this is the third time today. I'm like, yeah.
That is so cute. My goodness.
It was a good trip, though. I still have a bunch of blogs in draft to finish up and a bunch of videos that we took over there, none of which have music in them. It's just our adventures.
Did you do Facebook Live at all?
I did a little bit at the end there. Me at the castle. I was grave chasing there. I was looking in the graveyards for the Harry Potter names.
They got a whole lot more castles over there than we've got here.
Yeah.
I've really sort of noticed
right.
that. We've got that one up there near Lexington, and that's
Right.
about it. You know?
And it caught fire.
Yeah. They built it back there, right?
Oh, yeah. They built it back into a bed and breakfast.
Yeah, I'm sure Steve
My
plays.
goodness.
He's probably going there after this. Play a gig.
Hit till 4 a.m., Steve?
Yeah, exactly.
It's too close to Lexington. They won't be there till 4. I know that.
Steve Coolie and Briged Kaelin, take it off. One other song we
All
got
right,
here.
let's do. Gosh, I have my new record in front of me staring. Let's do Kentucky Waltz. Speaking of all things Kentucky,
I love that one.
also I'm in a waltzy mood. Put something pretty on, twirly, and give me 1 minute to grab my red boots. City's been killing me, no longer fulfilling me. At least that's my latest excuse. So let's take a chance, take a pause for a dance. Your boots look like they need breaking in. Hands on my shoulders, just listen, take hold of the banjos and old violins. I'll take you home to Kentucky tonight. We'll dance and maybe get lucky tonight, and we'll speak not a minute of trouble or strife. Waltz in Kentucky tonight. Don't need to leave the room, eyes closed, and we'll be there together. We've got all we need. Songs made of mandolins, bluegrass, good bourbon, playing for just you and me. We'll waltz through blue highways, dance backwards and sideways, make up the words as we go. Dreaming of far away back in the bluegrass state moonlight and old Bill Monroe. I'll take you home to Kentucky tonight. We'll dance and maybe get lucky tonight, and we'll speak not a minute, trouble or strife. Waltz in Kentucky tonight. Oh, lay down, do.
Briged Kaelin, famous for her yodeling.
Just a snippet there.
Just a little snippet of a yodel.
Yeah, we could do more.
I would like to
say
hear
that.
you yodel again. You're
Yeah?
so good at it.
Aren't you nice? It's the Swiss roots.
I was just going to... You took the words out of my
There I
mouth.
did.
It's that Swiss background.
Yeah.
Did you learn to yodel from someone in your family, or did you just pick it up, or how did that happen?
How did it happen?
DNA.
I really think it is, because I've sort of always been able to flip my epiglottis, so to speak, but I never really
Are
thought
you
of
allowed
that
to
as...
say that on the radio?
It's the eighth word.
Flip your epiglottis.
It's exactly guttural acrobats, I should say. Instead, it's less saucy. I could always sort of sing like that, but I never tried it fast until I wrote that funny Hanukkah song. Maybe you don't know it. It was Marty Rosen and I had been talking about it, and I'd sort of made up a dreidel yodel and was doing dreidel-a-dee, and then we just got to laughing about it one night, and I went home and wrote the blue dreidel yodel.
And I love it.
And so,
Did you by any chance know that I had baby goats and ducklings on the show this afternoon?
You know, I actually did, but I wasn't. Yes, I wasn't convinced that it was the station though.
It was baby ducks and goats.
Okay, so I was flipping the channel. I have this little mason jar hipster thing that plays only one radio station, but it's set to, I don't even know what it's set to because a friend of mine from out of town sent it to me. So I was trying to switch it to this, and I kept going through. I was like, they're talking about goats. That can't be right. So, so I never switched it.
That's Take It
Please
from
explain.
Tara.
Okay. So
Tara's 12
So
o'clock
you're-
farm
is
report.
that on SoundCloud yet?
So it's on Facebook. It's even
Okay.
better. It's Facebook.
Oh,
Live.
that's great.
So you yodeling kind of sounded a little bit like the sound the baby goat was making.
Baby goat.
They were 3 weeks old.
No.
They were so cute.
Wow.
You can look at it when you get
I
home.
would love to because I sat there. I was like, maybe she has Laura Ellis on.
Do you know
Laura?
why I had the baby goats
No,
on?
please
Because
explain.
I'm going to go do baby goat yoga. But this is baby animal
course.
yoga, so there will be ducklings and little baby lambs
Sounds
and
messy.
chickens. No.
Sounds messy.
You know, and these people were so thoughtful too. They brought their own little drop cloth, and they had, in case anything happened, they had cleaning supplies, and they tried to put baby diapers on them. Goats wouldn't have anything to do
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
No,
But they held them in their laps the whole time, and they just cuddled. And I said, "Is they going to sleep?" And they said, "Yeah, it's nap time."
Oh, that's sweet.
They were cute.
Baby
You know,
goats.
the bad thing about baby goats is they turn into big goats.
Yes, I know. And then they get into parking lot tussles with me, like I had to endure and get butted by a big
Yeah.
billy goat last week.
Yeah.
This
That
they-
was right after chasing down a loose dog that turned out to be a coyote. It was not a good day.
Man, you living the life,
It was
girl.
not a good day. All in the same day, I might add. So would you do the dreidel yodel?
A dreidel yodel, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love
Thank
to
you.
hear that.
Thank goodness you weren't anywhere near a shark pond.
If I have another yodely song,
Okay.
if we're not in the mood for Hanukkah,
I don't mind Hanukkah. Whatever makes you
What
happy,
keeps
Bridget.
the
it's in G. Let's see if I can remember. Okay, so this is, if anyone still out there has their menorah out, my parents still have their Christmas tree out, which is funny because my mom's Jewish. Anyway. This city life is far away from what I grew up with, but it's nice to have some friends who know what Rosh Hashanah is. As I was buying Hanukkah gifts for my little boy, I came across my favorite childhood toy. And I bought that little dreidel, ladle, dreidel, lady. I bought that little dreidel, lady. And my mind went back to the good old days of when I was a kid. And I thought of all the funny things and crazy things we did. My favorite country songs and hearing Patsy yodeling. But my favorite toy of all was that top made out of clay. And when I bought that little dreidel, ladle, dreidel, lady, I did a little yodel-o-dee. I bought a dreidel, dreidel, lady, dreidel, lady, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee, so now when I get homesick, lonesome or verklempt, I'll put on Jimmy Rogers and my Kentucky accent and spin the top for chocolate coin, shin, gimel, non, or hay. So listen, all you country Jews up in the big city, go buy yourselves a little dreidel, ladle, dreidel, lady. Teach yourself to yodel-o-dee. Go buy a dreidel, dreidel-o-dee, dreidel-o-dee, I-dee, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee, yodel-doo. I-dee, yodel-o-dee, I-dee, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee, yodel-o-dee. You're getting fancy, Steve. Let's go faster.
Yay, baby.
Fast enough before the sun goes down.
I tell you what, I remember you did that on a show one time, and you just got faster and faster, and they were just calling for more and screaming and clapping, and you just were going 150 miles an hour.
You know, and sometimes when I have a drummer, then he just starts to mess with me. And remember that one time at Headliners, you guys went into the immigrant song afterwards. Suddenly it was like, yo-dee-dee. I have a good band. They like to mess with me.
How many people normally play with you? I know you and Steve do a lot of gigs, but when
We
you go
do.
for the big band, how many people are there?
You know, I've got this kind of, depending on the band or on the gig, a rotating cast. Lately, it's been kind of a standard 4. Sometimes I like to throw in a 5th though, so that I don't have to play acoustic guitar. Steve's actually been playing bass lately, although I'm thinking about switching up, making Dennis play bass for the next few gigs.
That would be Dennis Ledford.
Dennis
if we're
Ledford,
gonna
the
drop
legend, the
names
legend,
again.
Local
And
legend.
Scott Langford's been playing with me. Donnie Arbuckle plays drums sometimes. Scott's in and out of the country a lot, so. But
Are you playing Brigid's guitar?
No, this is my guitar.
I was playing
She made
his.
me bring a guitar.
Oh, I
did.
see. You were playing his guitar.
I was playing his guitar.
Okay.
Yeah, so we went on this tour and had to kind of not bring a lot of stuff.
Right.
So we actually bought a guitar when we were over there.
Did you have to check the musical instruments, or do you get to carry them on?
The saw, I can't carry on.
No.
yeah,
obviously.
can't carry on the saw.
I checked the saw, but everything else we carried on.
Did you?
Steve just brought a little tiny backpack and a banjo.
Yeah.
There's a nice picture on my Facebook page. Nobody believed. I was like, this is really
Yeah,
what he
my
bought.
backpack was actually smaller than the body of this guitar.
He did great.
And I didn't smell foul
No, you were
anytime
great.
through the tour, did I?
He's like a pro at touring. And if I didn't have to bring all those CDs, I could have gotten away with it. I pack light too, because you don't want to be encumbered when you're ready to climb a castle,
right.
storm a
That's
castle.
right.
You know?
Yeah.
It was normally they don't let me carry the banjo on the plane. I was all prepared to check it and had a big flight case and everything, but
They let you bring it.
yeah,
You didn't have to buy seats for the accordion or anything?
No, I actually just put it in like a
goes in the
canvas bag.
overhead, too.
Yeah, this is my small accordion though. I purposely brought a
The
small
travel accordion.
the travel
Yep.
size. Shrunk it.
It was a grand time.
It was a good time. We have many people asking when we're coming back.
Of
Steve
course.
is popular over there, and
Had poached eggs and
we
beans.
did. I missed you, Steve. It's been a while. It's funny, you get on the road. Sometimes you come home from a tour with somebody and you need space. You don't want to talk to him for a while. But I feel like, Steve, we could have gone right back. But maybe I say this. He's like,
Yeah,
no, thank
no,
goodness.
we're-
How did you
okay.
two meet?
I have no idea. I don't remember. I've always known you.
Yeah, I don't know. Bridget's been around.
He's been
knew
around.
her dad, I guess, back when he tended bar at the Air
Yeah.
Devils a little bit.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
my
Bridget
gosh.
was playing some music and
And he worked at the guitar store. So
Oh,
he was,
yeah.
I'm just
going in ogle guitars and intimidating Steve is there. But he turns out he's super sweet.
He's a big bear. He's a
He
teddy
is.
bear, isn't he?
He's the nicest Stephen O'Cooley.
All right, Stephen O'Cooley and Bridget O'Kaelin, we've got about 11 minutes
Oh.
left in our
11
hour.
minutes. What do you got?
Let's
got
do
lined
Stairway.
up?
Not nearly
okay.
enough time with all your music.
You're sweet. Let's do the saw. I haven't done the saw. Can we do? Let's do a cover. Let's do a Beatles song. How about that? This will be more interesting to the people who are watching on the Facebook.
Yes, they will.
So I'll scoot back for Colin.
And I've got a perfect view of you.
Yeah, look at that. All right. So if you're at home on the radio, then maybe send your dogs out of the room. This is or your baby goats.
Your baby
Yeah.
goats, if you
Your
happen to
baby
have
goat.
any in the
Yeah.
So which
living
one'd
room.
you bring with you today?
This time I brought my 26-inch.
And you said you had to buy a smaller saw to go to England, is that,
I
or
do.
to go to Scotland?
Yeah, well, if I checked a really huge suitcase, I could bring this, but they over there don't sell the 26-inch saw. I couldn't even get it shipped over on Amazon. I was trying any which way, but they sell them 22 inches max over there. So I brought my English saw.
Is the
Back and
sound any
forth.
different?
I buy Stanleys, and they tend to sound the same, but the range is different. So you don't have as many notes if you have a shorter saw. This one is about an octave and a half, and the shorter saws is maybe just a tenth or so, if that means anything to you musical people. So on the shorter saw, you have to really start on a specific note, or you'll run out of notes.
Colin, you're learning all kinds of new things
Yeah.
tonight, aren't you?
Yeah. So if I do the national anthem, which I do for places, I have to bring a longer saw than this because it's a big old
Huge
2
range.
octave. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Do you sing it and play it on the saw?
No. I'm in tune. 2, 3.
not the most awesome thing you have ever heard in your life, Colin? Baby goats and Brigid, Kaelin, and her saw all in one day. It's awesome. So do you mark a saw like a keyboard, or is it like playing a violin where you just have to feel the placement?
You have to just know.
Yeah.
Search and destroy.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. I've played it for a long time now, about 20 years. Well, I guess 30 if you count the dabbling as an 8-year-old. But it's a double find, so you have to kind of know where to bend the saw. But then every time you bend the saw, the place where the note sounds changes. So it's at this point I can't explain it. It's the only I teach guitar lessons, I teach piano lessons, but I cannot teach saw lessons.
Well, what I thought was interesting watching you is that you would play it, you would draw the bow, but then you wouldn't necessarily bow the next note. You would just bend the saw a little bit more, and it would change.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's sort of that's sort of like if you're
Sound dynamics.
It is. I mean, if you're a violin player, sometimes you bow up and then back, and sometimes you just kind of roll over to the next note. So it's similar.
Very cool.
It's similar. So
I'm so glad you brought the saw. It just makes me
I
so
usually
happy.
don't for radio, but I knew that you did Facebook, so I thought, okay, if it's not just radio, because sometimes people turn the dial and they go, what? Like when they hear baby goats, maybe. What is this? Exactly.
Their cries were like babies. I'm kidding you not.
That I had heard, because there's a bunch of, if you Google YouTube videos of baby goats, they all
Yes.
sound like screaming children.
They do.
Yeah.
It was so, and so when I go out to do the goat yoga, I'm going to have my photographer come with me.
Yes.
And we're going to document it and do Facebook
Okay.
Live so that you can see.
Why don't they call it Goga?
Well, that's pretty good. I mean, but this one is
Yeah, I
more
need to
than
see
goat
it.
yoga. This is all kinds of baby animals. So I'm going to have chickies and ducklets and lambs and pigs and
Oh,
goats
my goodness.
climbing all over me while I do yoga.
That sounds really soothing. Really, really soothing. Deep breaths. Yeah.
It's kind of like your
Yeah.
kids climbing
I
on
think
you.
they're going to have to pressure wash at the
How are
end
you,
of that session.
I was going to say, how are you going to do Shavasana at the end? And they're just people are going to lick you. I mean, I've tried to do yoga with my toddler.
Yeah.
It's not soothing.
Well, my dogs walk in between my hands and legs
Yeah.
when I'm trying to do yoga at home, which is why I never bother.
Right. I'm sure
They
this will
do
be great.
down dog beautifully.
Yeah, they are. They're very good at it. So, what's our time situation?
6 minutes. You
6
got plenty
minutes.
of time.
All right, let's do the Ballad of Motorcycle Joe in that case. This is one from my first record. You want a capo? I can't
What key are we
decide.
gonna
I'll
do
do
it
it in
in?
C.
See?
I sometimes switch depending on what instrument. So this has a little story. The first time I toured in Scotland, it was because a songwriter named Nick Keir had recorded this song. I'm not really sure how he found it, but he recorded it, and he was a really, really well-known folk singer in Scotland in a group called the McCalmans that had been around for 30 years, 40 years. So he recorded the song and invited me to come play a show with him.
C
So
is in
accordions-
no sharps or flats, not C minor is
Correct.
in E flat.
Correct.
Are accordions like saxophone, where you've got a bari sax and a tenor sax? Are there different?
There's so many accordions.
Really?
There's so many different types, and there's no, because they came from so many different cultures somewhat simultaneously, there's not really a standard. You can't, there's not like, I don't know, some are like 14 and a half inches, some have, there's just no rhyme or reason to it, especially the older ones.
And they still have like accordion bands in Europe
Yeah.
where young people actually play, and they've got big accordions and little
Yeah.
accordions and the whole bit, and everybody
Candy.
plays a part.
Yeah.
And the accordion.
That's right. I have one at home that's like 40 pounds. I never play it. Anyway. But I did this song on my first record. It's me playing piano and Peter Searcy playing the cello.
Love
and it's
him.
I love Peter too. And then when Nick recorded it, he did a guitar and accordion version. So this is like a super meta song of I'm covering someone covering me.
And this is Brigid Kaelin and Steve Coolie on the Homegrown Radio Hour.
Has anyone here seen my bike? They stole it last Saturday night. I made my Softail classic with a few dents on the left side of the gas tank. Has anyone seen my bike? Late one night in early March, stars clear in the sky. Band played music, my friend at the bar was asking for a double rocket ride. I'm tired of your antics. Grin and a grumble, not quite sure what he said from behind those dark sunglasses. From behind those dark sunglasses. Slant cheers, I drink to your health. You drink to mine. Slant cheers, I drink to your health with a double rocket ride. Another Sunday night, and I'm up on stage, singing to a few folks that I know. Familiar voice from the back of the room yells, play Ode to Billy Joe. Sorry pal, you know I don't know the words. Quit asking, I'll learn them sometime. So now sit back, gonna play something else. Did you say that you like Patsy Cline? Thought I heard you say you liked Patsy Cline. Slant cheers, I drink to your health. You drink to mine. Slant cheers, I drink to your health with a double rocket ride. Oh, please won't you come for a ride with me today? I won't tell your dad. Look, I've even brought you some shades. There's no need to be scared. My old violin, it is missing a string. Could you bring me one, please? A top one, the high one, I think it's an E. I need you to bring me a string. Well, I brought you a string for that old violin. Here's your rocket ride. And I've learned all the words to Ode to Billy Joe, but I can't seem to find your bike. Has anyone here seen my bike? They stole it last Saturday night. A late model Softail classic with a few dents. Dents on the left side of the gas tank. Has anyone seen my bike? Could you tell me, have you seen my bike?
Brigid, Kaelin, and Steve Coolie. Do you know Kenny Kaelin?
He's my dad.
I thought so. He said, hello.
Hello, Dad.
Rosalind Harps Carruthers says,
No way, Roz!
I love Steve Cooley! Exclamation point, exclamation point.
He's the
She's
best.
such a tease.
She was just here with Miller's Folly a few weeks back. It
We
was
go back
fabulous.
a long way. I went to school with Roz, but I went to school with her brothers, but I played in orchestra with Roz.
An interesting woman. She was trained classically and then decided she wanted to be a fiddler.
Yeah.
Decided she needed to go slumming.
I'm
She's
telling
a
you.
nice
Happens.
lady.
It
She's
happens to the
hilarious.
best of us.
She's wearing a boot right now. She has a badly
Yeah.
injured foot.
Oh, poor Rosie.
Yeah.
Sorry, Roz.
And she's like a huge triathlete. She's
Ooh.
running and doing all kinds
she's
of things.
one of them
That's
overachievers.
Typical for lawyer.
Holla if you need me to bring you something, hun.
We're out of time, guys. I hate to say it because I hate to let you go, but you want to take us out?
Sure.
Take us out with some fun-loving music
All right.
that only you can provide.
Yeah. Let's do Annie.
And I will tell you that next week on the Homegrown Radio Hour, I am so tickled to have the music of Sue Deshay. It's a fabulous group of three women I love very much. Sue, Cheryl, and Deb. They're named Sue Deshay, and we challenge you to use Sue Deshay in a sentence, Brigid Kaelin. Any sentence at all.
Sudache.
Sue Deshay.
I'm a Sudache. I wasn't listening, but I'm a chef, and my son sometimes pretends to be the Sudache chef.
Steve, you want to use pseudo in a sentence?
No, not really.
Well, we're going to pseudo our way right out of here. Thank you so much for being a part of the Homegrown Radio Hour. Brigid, Kaelin, and Steve Coolie. Thanks to Uber producer Colin Trask.
Yeah.
Problem solver extraordinaire. And thanks to the mayor. Sorry he wasn't able to come visit, but he's over at Mint Julep Tours next door. Doing good for the city, I'm sure. Have a great night, y'all. I'll see you on Monday on Take It From Tara, 4 to 6 on Crescent Hill Radio's now WCHQ 100.9 FM.
100.9 FM, all local, all community, all the time.